Did the Games Awards rob Helldivers 2 of its victory? Yes and no at the same time, so let's begin. Really fast with what's the Games Award, at least for those who don't know what it is. It's basically an awards show that's taking after the Oscars, but instead of having celebrities jerking each other off, we got rich developers and their overlords jerking each other off. So yeah, not much of a difference. Now, of course, players can vote on their website to what game they want to see go further and all that, but doesn't really matter because our votes only count as 10% of the vote, while the jury counts for 90% of it. Yep, that's nice, isn't it? Anyway, if you think that's BS, you are right, but we also get the player's choice, as if that really matters. We're all here for the Gay of the Year awards. We're not really here for the let me throw you a bone award, you know? So, as one does with a vote, you vote on the game you wanna see next, and maybe win. But I can certainly tell you I didn't vote for Astrobot since I didn't even know what it was. And to be truthful with all of you, nobody heard of it until then. Only maybe a few certain people, but I can tell you, I didn't hear of it, my friends didn't hear of it, not even some people that have PlayStations knew of it until it won. So my opinion is that Sony, the PlayStation people, were given the victory so the other two great games won't win. Why? Because it's most likely the jury has an agenda against games that don't have any LGBT messaging, but we are going somewhere else with this. Let me get back on track and see the next thing that played part in Helldivers 2 loss. Yes, Sony is part of this, like I talked before, but why? Well, let's go back in time to a moment in Helldivers 2 history where everything was okay, the players were happy, until the Sony Nation decided we need to sign in with the PSN. If you don't know why it's bad, it's because the PlayStation Network account was not required to play the game, and that's why so many people wanted to play. And if you know us PC players, we don't really like being lied to, so we review bombed the whole game just to show Sony you cannot fuck with us. So, now my opinion is that Sony's executives' ego was very hurt, so they had to fire back in a way. Anyway, especially since they tried to hit us with the rifle that cost 600 credits, and we didn't really take the bullshit that it was the devs' fault, okay? That was Sony, that only could have benefited them.
But you can't do this to me. I started this company. You know how much I sacrificed? Oh, Max, please.
Norman, the board is unanimous. We're announcing the sale after the World Unity Festival. I'm sorry.
You're out, Norman. Am I?
You see, we the community, at least on PC, we have been whooping Sony's ass for a while, and I gotta say they are sitting with us. So they fired back in the only way they could. They paid the jury to fuck us over. Allegedly of course. Don't sue my ass, Japanese lawyers, I don't wanna be pal world, okay, thank you. Now, I'm not saying Helldivers 2 didn't annoy its own base of players by making a bunch of mistakes, and before someone shoots me because I'm a traitor. Okay, so now that you got your rocks off, let's talk about what the Helldivers 2 devs did. Well, they nerfed our weapons into the ground and took months to barely bring them back to a good place. Most likely because they listen to those fucks who keep saying the game is so easy. I got a friend like that, he says that the game is so easy, but usually I catch him playing like difficulty 5, and then he leaves for months. So yeah, maybe don't listen to the hardcore players. Now, talking about the next mistake is the event of 1995 on Discord, where people were talking crap about some furry art, right? And to be truthful, it's kinda deserved. Not all people are into furries, so you should expect to have some kind of backfiring or a bunch of people saying, hey, I don't like this. By the way, just so you guys know, I'm on the side of the guys that don't really like furries, so yeah, I might be biased on this. But at the same time, I don't think the Discord mod that started basically banning people or timing them out did the right thing. It's just smart. I think he should have been more calmer, but that's what happens when you get crazies in there. And speaking of crazies, this was at a time where gaming had a bunch of crazy people trying to infiltrate communities to try and push LGBTQ agendas in there, trying to push it to the devs. So people saw that coming a mile away. From what I understood from the whole thing, basically the Discord mod was never banned, or they didn't stop working with him, but the community is still more chilled and people are not getting banned for not liking footy art. Now, I know this will get a lot of people mad, but hear me out. Helldivers 2 isn't that great of a game. By that I mean I'm not talking about the gameplay itself, I'm not talking about how the structure of the game is made in terms of unlocking stuff or getting yourself some better gear or even finding things. It's nothing about that. No, not at all. The game isn't that great because the game performance is kinda bad. Let me put it next to Cyberpunk for you, so you can understand my problem and the issue with this whole thing. Now, first of all, I'll begin with Cyberpunk, in which at high, by the way, I'm showing you right now the whole settings. At high, I am getting somewhere around 100 to 100 and some FPS. While in Helldivers 2 on low, I barely managed to keep it at 60 FPS. I could go above that, but the problem with it is that most of the time it's gonna go lower. It can barely sustain the 60 FPS I already set it on. Right, and it's not that much of a difference. It's only like from 60 to 59. It's not that much of a difference, but my problem is that it's somehow managing to be worse than Cyberpunk, even though it looks worse than Cyberpunk, in my opinion at least. So now, just to show you a proper comparison, I put them both at 60 FPS right next to each other, and I also zoomed in on the stats so you guys can see properly what is going on and what the difference is. Okay, now that you see them side by side, you can clearly see that one of them is running hotter and also most of the time losing 1 FPS and also looking worse off. Again, let's keep in mind I'm playing Cyberpunk at high and I'm also playing Helldivers 2 on mostly low with just a few of the settings turned on medium. Again, in my opinion, Arrowhead could do way better and they could take care of us way better than they do right now. Now, there are some bugs in the game as well as the performance issues, but to give credit to Arrowhead, they have fixed a bunch of them. But to be truthful, I will not blame any player that thinks the game is running badly or doesn't want to buy them, or some of them may even hate the devs because they will feel scammed out of their money. So just to wrap up the whole video, I want to let every Helldiver know that you shouldn't be crying because of this loss. We still managed to get the award for the best ongoing game of the year. And for a moment, let's entertain this thought. Even if the jury of the Games Awards wasn't bought off, you gotta admit Helldivers 2 never stood a chance to win the Game of the Year. We're talking about Black Myth Wukong and Space Marine 2. Those two fucking titans, one of them should have had the Game of the Year. Instead, Astrobot won, and I think, in my opinion, Sony threw Helldivers 2 under the bus just because of what the players did. But hey, I think we all know the Games Awards isn't really fair. It wasn't really meant for the players, it was more meant for the rich and for the people in the industry overall. But I think we shouldn't be sad, because the game is still alive. I think we should be grateful that the game is still alive and we can all enjoy the game. But I know some players want to be validated for playing and for paying for Helldivers 2 overall. In my opinion, you shouldn't search for that validation. I think the game alone should be validation enough because you still got somewhere around 60 to 70,000 players, so you should be good. I think you having fun in the game is validation enough, and for the love of God, please stop, okay? The Games Awards has been way long gone. Please, all the players that are complaining about this, please stop, bro. It's enough. Hey guys, if you liked the video, give me some support in the form of a like and a sub so I can beat the algorithm. See you all next time.